The arena was huge. Hana Kim stood in the center and looked up at the curved walls that reached toward the ceiling high above. 200 students filled the seats around her. They came from 40 different planets. Some had scales. Some had fur. Some looked like they were made of crystal or metal. And here she was, the only human in the entire Galactic Combat Academy. She tried not to feel small. Earth had only joined the Galactic Council 5 years ago. Most species had been traveling between stars for thousands of years. Humanity was new. Humanity was untested. And right now, every eye in the arena was on her because she was different. Instructor Velthar walked to the center of the arena floor. He was tall, maybe 3 meters, with 4 arms that moved with perfect grace. His species, the Quillarians, were famous across the galaxy as weapons masters. He had taught combat for 200 years. Hana had been alive for 23. "Watch closely," Velthar said. His voice carried easily through the space. He picked up 4 different training weapons, one in each hand. A sword, a staff, a blade, a club. Every species fights according to their body design. This is absolute law. Your neural pathways decide how you move. Your brain structure decides what is possible. He began to move. All 4 weapons flowed through the air in perfect rhythm. It was beautiful, like watching a carefully planned dance. But Hana noticed something. The movements were synchronized. All 4 arms moved in patterns that mirrored each other. It was impressive, but it was not independent. Some species use one weapon. Velthar continued, stopping his demonstration. Some use natural weapons like claws or teeth. My people have 4 arms, so we use multiple tools. But understand this clearly. No species can truly dual-wield. A student in the front row raised a tentacle. "What does dual-wield mean, Instructor?" "Fighting with 2 completely independent weapons," Velthar explained. "Using your left and right hands to fight 2 separate battles at the same time. It requires your brain to split its attention in ways that are neurologically impossible. Some cadets try. They always fail. The weapons eventually mirror each other. The brain cannot maintain that level of divided focus." Hana's hand went up slowly. Her heart was pounding. This was her first day at the academy. She should stay quiet. She should learn the rules. She should not challenge an instructor who had been teaching since before Earth had radio. But she could not stay quiet. Not about this. Velthar's 4 eyes focused on her. "Yes, Cadet Kim? May I try, Instructor?" Her voice was steady. That was good. She did not feel steady inside. The arena went silent. Then whispers started to ripple through the seats. Hana heard some of them. "The human thinks she can do what no one else can? Humans are so arrogant. This will be entertaining." Velthar studied her for a long moment. Then something that might have been amusement crossed his face. "Very well. Choose your weapons." Hana walked to the weapons rack. Her hands were not shaking. Good. She had trained for this moment her whole life, even though she had not known this moment was coming. Olympic fencing, historical European martial arts, kendo, every style she could learn. Her instructors on Earth had always said the same thing. You move differently than other students. You can control each hand like it has its own brain. She picked up 2 training swords. They were lighter than Earth weapons, but balanced well. She took her position in the center of the arena and closed her eyes for just a moment. She could feel both swords, not as one weight in 2 hands, but as 2 separate tools, 2 extensions of her will. "Begin with basic forms," Velthar instructed. "Show me the standard mirror patterns." Hana started simple. Both blades moved together. Left mirror right. Up, down, strike, block. This was what Velthar expected. This was what any species could do. The whispers in the seats grew quieter. They were waiting for her to fail at something harder. Then she broke the pattern. Her left blade went high while her right blade swept low. They moved in completely different arcs. Her left was defense, staying close to her body. Her right was offense, reaching out. 2 different rhythms. 2 different purposes. 2 separate battles being fought by the same person. The whispers stopped. "Interesting," Velthar said. "But that could be a pre-programmed sequence. Let us test further." He activated a control panel. Training drones floated down from the ceiling. Small, fast, and programmed to attack from random angles. The first drone came from her right. Her right blade met it, deflecting it away. Before she could reset, 2 more drones attacked from her left and from behind. Her left blade caught the one from behind while her body turned. And somehow her right blade was already moving to intercept the 3rd drone from a different angle. More drones came. 6, 10, 15. They swarmed around her like angry insects. And Hana's blades never stopped moving. Each weapon had its own territory. Her left protected her back and left side. Her right controlled the front and right. But they did not stay locked in those zones. They flowed. They adapted. When 3 drones attacked from the front, both blades moved forward. When the attack split, the blades split with it. She was fighting 2 battles at the same time. With complete independence, Velthar stopped the drones. They floated back up to the ceiling. The arena was completely silent now. Hana stood in the center, breathing hard but steady. Both swords were still ready in her hands. That was luck, someone called from the seats. She memorized the drone patterns. The drones are randomized, another student replied. I have trained with them for 2 years. There is no pattern to memorize. Velthar walked a slow circle around Hana. All 4 of his eyes studied her carefully. How is this possible? He finally asked. It was not an accusation. It sounded like genuine curiosity. I do not know the science, Hana said honestly, but humans train this skill. Some are better at it than others. I have practiced since I was young. Your species can all do this? Velthar asked. With training, yes. Some humans juggle multiple objects. Some play instruments that require both hands doing different things. Some write with one hand while doing something completely different with the other hand. We do not think it is special. It is just something humans can do. A student with crystal skin leaned forward in her seat. Hana noticed her for the first time. Her name badge said Yuri Choi, though that seemed like an odd name for a crystal alien. Maybe she had chosen a human name. The xenobiologist will want to study you, Yuri said. Our scientists concluded that dual-wielding is neurologically impossible. No species has the brain structure to support it. Then your scientists have not met humans yet, Hana replied. Velthar raised one hand for silence. This demonstration is ended. Cadet Kim, you will report to the medical wing for neural scans. The rest of you are dismissed. We will discuss this further once we understand what we have witnessed. The students began to file out, but Hana noticed they kept looking back at her. Some looked impressed. Some looked suspicious. Some looked almost afraid. She returned the training swords to the rack and tried not to think about what she had just done. She had challenged an instructor on her first day. She had claimed humans could do something the entire galaxy believed was impossible, and she had proven it in front of 200 witnesses. This was either the best decision of her life or the worst. She would find out soon enough. 3 days after her demonstration, Hana received a message. She was to report to the main arena at dawn. Instructor Velthar would be testing her abilities formally. If she failed, humanity's reputation would suffer. If she succeeded, everything would change. She could not sleep the night before. At midnight, she went to one of the Academy's training rooms. The lights activated when she entered. The room was empty except for training equipment and weapons racks. She picked up 2 practice blades and began moving through forms. You should be resting. Hana turned quickly, both blades ready. Ambassador Taemin Park stood in the doorway. He was human, older than her by maybe 20 years. He had been a soldier on Earth before becoming a diplomat. His eyes were tired. I cannot rest, Hana admitted. She lowered her weapons. What if I fail tomorrow? Then you fail, Taemin said simply. He walked into the room and sat on a training bench. But Earth does not rise or fall based on one person. We are stronger than that. Then why does it feel like so much depends on this? Because right now it does, Taemin replied. The galaxy is watching us. They want to know what humans can do. Can we be soldiers? Can we be allies? Can we offer something valuable? You have shown them something unexpected. Now they want to understand it. Hana sat down next to him. Did you know I could dual-wield before I came here? I hoped, Taemin said. Your training record showed unusual abilities. But I could not be certain until you demonstrated it. Sleep now. Tomorrow will be harder than you think. At dawn, Hana entered the arena. It was full again. More students than before. She also saw scientists in the viewing areas, their recording equipment pointing at her, and in the best seats sat members of the Galactic Council. They had come to watch her personally. Velthar stood in the center of the arena floor. Next to him was Commander Ralvik, the Academy headmaster. Ralvik was a Draken, tall and covered in dark scales. His species were warriors known across the galaxy for their strength and honor. Cadet Kim, Ralvik said. His voice was deep and rough. You have made a claim about human capabilities. Today you will prove that claim or admit it was false. We have designed 3 trials. You must pass all 3. I understand, Commander, Hana replied. Trial 1, Velthar announced. Reaction and independence. You will face attackers from multiple directions. You must defend against all of them while maintaining separate weapon patterns. Hana took her position. She selected 2 swords again. They felt comfortable in her hands now, like old friends. The arena lights dimmed except for the circle around her. Training drones appeared from every direction. Front, back, left, right, above. They moved faster than the ones from 3 days ago. Velthar was not making this easy. The first attack came from behind. Hana's left blade was already moving, blocking without her needing to turn around. Her right blade swept forward, catching a drone that came from the front. 2 more came from the sides at the same moment. She spun and both blades moved in opposite circles, catching both drones. More drones came, faster, from angles that should have been impossible to defend, but Hana's blades found them. Each weapon had its own awareness. Her left protected her blind spots. Her right pressed forward. When they needed to work together, they did. When they needed to split, they split instantly. Trial 1 ended. Not a single drone had gotten through her defense. Acceptable, Velthar said. Hana thought she heard approval in his voice, but she could not be sure. Trial 2, sustained coordination. You will fight for 30 minutes without stopping. Most species lose their coordination after a few minutes. The brain becomes tired. The weapons begin to mirror each other. 30 minutes. Hana's arms were already tired from Trial 1, but she nodded. I am ready. This trial was different. Instead of drones, holographic opponents appeared. They looked real. They fought with skill, and they did not stop coming. 5 minutes passed. Hana's breathing grew heavier. Her muscles burned, but her blades remained independent. Left high, right low. Left defense, right attack. The patterns never merged. 10 minutes. Sweat ran down her face. One hologram nearly got past her guard. She compensated, both blades moving in a complex weave that drove the opponent back. 15 minutes. Halfway. Her legs shook. Her shoulders screamed, but the blades never stopped. Never faltered. Never mirrored. 20 minutes. She stopped thinking about the movements. Her body took over. Muscle memory built from years of training. Her conscious mind floated above the fight, watching both weapons at once, directing them like an orchestra conductor. 25 minutes. The holograms increased their speed. They were trying to break her now, trying to force a mistake. Hana's left blade began to drift toward her right blade's pattern. No. She snapped them back to independence. Different rhythms. Different purposes. 30 minutes. The holograms disappeared. Hana stood alone in the center of the arena. Both swords still ready, both moving in separate small circles. She had done it. Remarkable, Ralvik said. Even he sounded impressed. No other species has maintained coordination for more than 8 minutes. Trial 3 will begin in 10 minutes. Cadet Kim, you may rest. Hana sat down hard. Her legs could not hold her anymore. Someone handed her water. She looked up and saw Yuri, the crystal student from before. That was amazing, Yuri said quietly. I did not think it was possible. Neither did anyone else, Hana managed to say between gulps of water. What is Trial 3? Yuri asked. I do not know. But it will be harder than the first 2. 10 minutes passed too quickly. Hana forced herself to stand. Her muscles protested, but she ignored them. Velthar was waiting. Trial 3, Velthar announced. Adaptive combat. Your opponents will learn your patterns. They will predict your movements. Most warriors rely on trained sequences. When those sequences are known, the warrior becomes predictable. Let us see if you can maintain independence under these conditions. The holograms appeared again, but these were different, smarter. After every exchange, they adapted. When Hana blocked high with her left blade 3 times, they started attacking low on her left side. When her right blade favored thrust attacks, they prepared for thrusts. They were learning. And Hana was running out of tricks. Her left blade fell into a rhythm. Block parry, block parry. The hologram on her left predicted the pattern and attacked between her blocks. It scored a hit. Red light flashed on Hana's shoulder. In real combat, that would have been a wound. She was failing. The holograms had figured out her style. She needed to change. But changing meant breaking her training. It meant becoming unpredictable even to herself. Then she remembered something her fencing coach had said years ago. When your opponent knows your patterns, make new patterns. When they adapt to those, stop using patterns entirely. Become chaos. Hana stopped fighting with technique. Her left blade began using movements from kendo, short and powerful. Her right blade switched to fencing, fast and precise. Then she mixed them. Kendo strikes from the right, fencing thrusts from the left. Then she added movements that came from no style at all, just pure reaction and instinct. The holograms could not adapt. There was nothing to adapt to. Every exchange was different. Every moment was unique. It was the hardest thing Hana had ever done. Her brain felt like it was on fire. Most species could not do this. Their brains needed patterns. They needed predictability. But humans evolved throwing rocks while running across the savannah, tracking animals for days, using tools with both hands independently. Human brains were built for this kind of chaos. The holograms disappeared. Trial 3 was complete. Hana dropped both swords. She fell to her knees. Her vision blurred. She had passed. She had proven it. Humans could dual-wield. It was not luck. It was not a trick. It was real. The arena erupted in sound. Some students cheered. Some argued. The scientists were frantically recording everything, and the council members were speaking urgently to each other. Velthar walked over to her. He helped her stand. You have proven your claim, Cadet Kim. The galaxy will have many questions, but you have answered the most important one. Humans are not like other species, and that makes you valuable. Hana looked up at the viewing areas. Ambassador Taemin was there, and he was smiling. Earth had just changed its place in the galaxy, and it had done so with 2 swords and 1 very tired human. 2 weeks after the trials, Hana's life changed completely. Scientists wanted to study her brain. News networks from 40 worlds wanted interviews. Students at the academy looked at her differently now. Some with respect, some with fear, some with anger. She sat in a medical laboratory while a Quilarian neuroscientist named Dr. Vex examined scan results. The doctor's 4 hands moved across multiple display screens at once. Fascinating, Dr. Vex murmured. Your corpus callosum is significantly larger than we expected. The connection between your brain hemispheres allows for unusual information transfer, and your motor cortex shows patterns we have never seen in any species. Is that good or bad? Hana asked. Neither. It is simply different. Dr. Vex turned to face her. All humans have this brain structure? I think so. I am not a scientist. But humans do many things that require independent hand control. We type on keyboards. We play musical instruments. We juggle objects. Children learn these skills easily. Those things are impossible for most species, Dr. Vex said quietly. What you call simple, we call neurologically unachievable. This changes everything we know about human potential. That evening, Commander Ralvik summoned Hana and Ambassador Taemin to his office. The room was large and decorated with weapons from across the galaxy. Ralvik stood looking out a window at the stars. The Galactic Council met this afternoon, Ralvik said without turning around. They discussed the human demonstration. There is disagreement about what it means. Disagreement? Taemin asked carefully. Ralvik turned to face them. Some council members want to restrict humans from military service. They say your abilities give you an unfair advantage. They say it disrupts the balance of power that has kept the galaxy at peace for centuries. Hana felt cold. They want to ban humans from being soldiers? Some do, Ralvik confirmed. Others want the opposite. They want to recruit human soldiers immediately. They see you as a weapon to be used. He paused. Both views are wrong. You are not a threat or a weapon. You are a person with unusual skills. What does the council want from us? Taemin asked. Proof that humans can be trusted with this ability. Proof that you will not use it to dominate others. And proof that dual-wielding can be taught, that it is not unique to Cadet Kim. You want me to teach others? Hana said. Yes. Develop a training program. Show that any human can learn this skill with proper instruction, and perhaps find ways to help other species learn similar techniques, even if they cannot achieve true dual-wielding. Taemin placed a hand on Hana's shoulder. This is a lot of responsibility. I know, Hana replied. But if it helps Earth's position in the galaxy, I will do it. The next morning, Hana stood in a training room with her first student. Jiwan Lee was human, 19 years old, and confident to the point of arrogance. He had been at the academy for 3 months and considered himself an excellent fighter. This should be easy, Jiwan said, picking up 2 practice swords. We are both human. If you can do it, I can do it, Hana sighed. She had been afraid of this attitude. Dual wielding is not automatic just because you are human. It requires training and discipline. Sure, Jiwon said dismissively. Let us just start. 2 hours later, Jiwon sat on the floor, frustrated and exhausted. His swords had mirrored each other constantly. Every time he tried to move them independently, one hand would drift back to copying the other hand. This is impossible, he complained. No, Hana corrected. It is difficult. There is a difference. You have spent your whole life training both hands to work together. Now you must teach them to work separately. It takes time. How long did it take you? Jiwon asked. Years. I started young, with simple exercises. Gradually built up to weapons. Even now, I practice every day to maintain the skill. Jiwon looked at her with new respect. I thought you just knew how to do it naturally. Nothing is natural. Everything worth doing requires work. Hana helped him stand. We will try again tomorrow. But first, I will teach you basic coordination exercises. Walk before you run. Over the next week, more human students joined the training program. Some learned quickly. Some struggled like Jiwon. But all of them improved. Hana discovered she enjoyed teaching. Breaking down complex skills into simple steps. Watching students suddenly understand a concept they had struggled with. Yuri visited the training room one afternoon. She watched the human students practice with their dual weapons. Hana noticed her and walked over. You come here often, Hana observed. I find it interesting, Yuri admitted. My species cannot dual wield. Our neural structure is too rigid. But watching you teach makes me think about other limitations we accept without questioning. Like what? Hana asked. My people can manipulate our crystalline structure. We can change our shape slightly. But we are taught this is limited to small changes. After watching humans question the impossible, I wonder, what if we simply have not tried hard enough? Hana smiled. That is exactly the right question to ask. Would you help me? Yuri asked. Not with dual wielding, but with questioning my own limits. I would be honored, Hana replied. A month into the training program, Commander Ralvik visited to observe progress. He watched Jiwon and 5 other human students demonstrate their dual-wielding skills. They were not at Hana's level yet, but they showed clear independence between their weapons. Impressive, Ralvik said. You have proven that this can be taught. The council will be satisfied. But there is another matter, sir? Hana asked. A frontier colony has sent a distress signal. Pirates are attacking their settlements. Local defense forces are overwhelmed. We are sending a team from the academy to assist. It will be their first real combat mission. Hana felt her pulse quicken. Real combat? Yes, and I want you on the team. This is your chance to prove that dual wielding has tactical value, not just academic interest. Are you ready? She thought about the trials, the exhaustion, the moment when she had nearly failed. But she also remembered the feeling of both blades moving in perfect independence, creating possibilities that should not exist. I am ready, Commander, Hana said. Good. You leave in 3 days. Choose your weapons carefully. This will not be a training simulation. Ralvik turned to leave, then paused. Cadet Kim, the galaxy is watching to see what humans can do in real combat. Do not let them down. I will not, sir. After Ralvik left, Jiwon approached her. Are you scared? He asked quietly. Yes, Hana admitted. Training is one thing. Actual combat is different. People can die. Then why did you agree? Because someone has to prove that humans belong here. That we can contribute. That we are not just strange newcomers who do tricks with swords. She looked at her student. Keep practicing while I am gone. When I return, I want to see improvement. Yes, instructor, Jiwon said. For the first time since they met, he looked at her without arrogance. He looked at her like she was someone worth respecting. That night, Hana stood in the training room alone. She held 2 real swords now, not practice weapons. They were heavier, sharper, deadly. In 3 days, she would use them against people who wanted to hurt others. She began moving through forms, slow at first, then faster. Both blades independent, both weapons moving with purpose. She had changed the galaxy's understanding of what humans could do. Now she had to prove that knowledge was worth having. The arena had been the first test. The trials had been the second test. Real combat would be the third. And this time failure meant more than embarrassment. It meant people would die. Hana practiced until dawn, preparing for whatever would come next. The transport ship carried 12 cadets and Instructor Velthar toward the frontier colony of Haven's Edge. Hana sat near a viewport, watching stars blur past. Yuri sat beside her crystalline body reflecting the starlight and rainbow patterns. "Nervous?" Yuri asked. "Very," Hana admitted. "Training cannot fully prepare you for real danger. At least you have a useful combat skill." "My species is not built for fighting. Everyone has value in combat," Hana replied. "Your crystalline structure can deflect energy weapons better than armor. That will save lives." Across the cargo bay, a large Draken warrior named Sul sharpened a massive blade. He had been watching Hana since they boarded. Finally, he stood and walked over. "Human," Sul said. His voice rumbled like distant thunder. "I wish to test your dual wielding. Spar with me." It was not a request. It was a challenge. Hana stood slowly. "Training weapons only," she said. "Agreed." Sul smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. They moved to an open area in the cargo bay. Other cadets gathered to watch. Velthar observed but did not interfere. Hana selected 2 training swords. Sul took a single massive blade that looked too heavy for most species to lift. "Begin," Velthar said. Sul attacked immediately. His blade came down like a falling tree. Hana crossed both her swords above her head to block. The impact drove her to one knee. Sul was incredibly strong. She rolled to the side as his blade struck where she had been. Her right sword swept at his legs. He jumped back. Her left sword was already coming from a different angle, forcing him to block high while his weapon was still low. They exchanged blows for several minutes. Sul was strong and his reach was longer than hers. Every time Hana tried to get close, his massive blade drove her back. But she had 2 weapons. When Sul blocked her right attack, her left blade found openings. When he focused on her left, her right blade scored hits. Sul began breathing heavily. Hana was faster, and her unpredictable dual-wielding confused him. But she was tiring too. Her arms ached from blocking his powerful strikes. Then Sul changed tactics. Instead of trying to block both blades, he accepted hits to his armored body and pressed forward with overwhelming force. Hana's technique could not overcome pure strength and mass. Sul's blade swept both of her weapons aside and stopped at her throat. "Victory," Velthar announced. Sul lowered his weapon and offered Hana a hand. She took it and he pulled her to her feet easily. "You fight well, human. Your technique is impressive, but power still matters." "Yes," Hana agreed, breathing hard. "I learned something important today. Dual wielding gives advantages, but it does not guarantee victory." Sul nodded with approval. "Good. Warriors who think their technique makes them invincible die quickly. You understand that skill is only one tool." They arrived at Haven's Edge 12 hours later. The colony was small, maybe 5,000 people spread across several settlements. Smoke rose from 2 of the settlements. The pirates had already attacked. Velthar gathered the team in the command center. A holographic map showed the colony layout. The pirates are well armed. Military-grade weapons and armor. They have taken hostages in the central settlement. Local forces tried to rescue them and failed. 12 defenders dead, 20 civilians captured. "What is our objective?" Sul asked. "Rescue the hostages. Capture or neutralize the pirates. We must move quickly before they execute hostages to prevent pursuit." Velthar pointed to the map. "The settlement has narrow corridors. Perfect for ambush. This will be dangerous." They moved out within the hour. The settlement was made of connected buildings with covered walkways between them. Velthar divided the team into 3 groups. Hana was with Sul, Yuri, and 2 other cadets. They entered the settlement from the east side. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. Hana held both swords ready. Her heart pounded. The ambush came from above. Pirates dropped from ceiling hatches, firing energy weapons. One of the cadets went down immediately. Sul raised his blade and charged, roaring. The pirates focused fire on him. Hana saw an opening. She ran forward while the pirates were distracted. 2 pirates turned toward her. She was too close for them to shoot safely. Her blades moved in independent arcs, right blade high, striking a weapon from someone's hand, left blade low, sweeping legs. Both pirates fell. More pirates came from side corridors. The team was outnumbered. Sul was handling 3 pirates, but more were coming. Yuri's crystalline body deflected energy bolts, but she had no offensive capabilities. They were being pushed back. "Fall back," Sul ordered. "No," Hana said. She saw it clearly. The corridor was narrow. If they retreated, the pirates would chase them into open areas where superior numbers would overwhelm them. But in this corridor, One person could hold the position. One person who could control the entire width of the passage with 2 weapons. I can hold here, Hana said.
Get to the hostages.
I will buy you time. That is suicide, Sul growled. No, it is dual wielding. Hana stepped forward into the corridor's choke point. Go now. Sul hesitated, then nodded. Do not die, human. He led the rest of the team deeper into the settlement. Hana faced the corridor. Pirates filled it, maybe 20 of them. They could not all attack at once in the narrow space. They had to come at her in groups of 2 or 3. Perfect. Her left blade controlled the left side of the corridor. Her right blade controlled the right side. When pirates tried to rush together, both blades moved in independent patterns that created an impenetrable barrier. When they tried to use weapons, she was too close. When they tried to spread out, the corridor was too narrow. She had become a wall. A living wall made of 2 swords and human determination. Time became strange. Hana stopped thinking. Her body moved on instinct and training. Left blade parry. Right blade strike, spin, block, counter. Every movement flowed into the next. The pirates could not get past her. Then pain exploded in her left shoulder. A pirate had gotten a shot between her guard. The energy bolt burned through her armor. Her left arm went numb. The sword fell from her hand. The pirates rushed forward, seeing victory. But Hana was not finished. She caught her falling left sword with her right hand, tossed it into the air, grabbed it again with her now recovered left hand, and continued fighting. The movement was so fast, so unexpected, that the pirates hesitated. That hesitation cost them. Sul's roar echoed through the settlement. The team had freed the hostages and was returning. The pirates tried to flee, but Sul and the others were behind them. Trapped between Hana and the rest of the team, the pirates surrendered. Hana dropped both swords. Her legs gave out. She fell to her knees. The pain in her shoulder was overwhelming now that the adrenaline was fading. She looked down and saw blood. Too much blood. Yuri was suddenly beside her. Medical! We need medical now! Velthar appeared. All 4 of his hands moved quickly, applying pressure to stop the bleeding. Foolish human, he said, but his voice was gentle. Brave, effective, but foolish. Did we save them? Hana asked. Her vision was blurring. The hostages? All 20, Sul confirmed. He knelt beside her. And you held that corridor for 8 minutes. 8 minutes against 20 opponents. No warrior I know could have done that, not with 1 weapon. That is because no other warrior has 2 swords, Hana said. Then darkness took her. She woke in the medical bay 3 days later. Her left shoulder was wrapped in regeneration bandages. Ambassador Taemin sat beside her bed. The doctors say you will recover, Taemin said. But the nerve damage is permanent. Your left arm will never be at full strength again. Hana closed her eyes. Her career as a dual-wielding warrior might be over before it truly began. All that training, all that practice, gone because of 1 lucky shot. The Council is calling you a hero, Taemin continued. The mission was broadcast across the galaxy. Everyone saw you hold that corridor. They understand now. Dual-wielding is not just impressive. It has real tactical value. What good is tactical value if I cannot fight anymore? Hana asked bitterly. Who says you cannot fight? Taemin smiled. You are human. When has a limitation ever stopped us? You will adapt. You will find a new way. That is what we do. Hana looked at her bandaged shoulder. Maybe he was right. She had shown the galaxy that humans could dual-wield. Now she would show them something even more important. That humans could overcome anything, even their own limitations. 6 months after the mission, Hana stood in a training room watching her reflection. Her left shoulder had healed, but the nerve damage remained. Her left hand could not grip as strongly. Her left arm tired more quickly. She could still dual-wield, but not at her previous level. Commander Ralvik had offered her an honorable discharge. She could return to Earth as a hero, build a comfortable life. No one would blame her, but Hana had refused. She had more to prove, not to the galaxy. To herself, she picked up 2 practice swords. Her right hand gripped firmly. Her left hand held weakly. She began moving through forms, but they felt wrong, unbalanced. The weakness in her left side disrupted everything she had, trained for years to achieve. You are fighting against your injury, a voice said. Velthar stood in the doorway. Hana had not heard him enter. She lowered her weapons. What else can I do? My left side is weak now. Then make weakness into strength. Velthar walked into the room. You taught me that limitations are not absolute. Now you must remember your own lesson. How do I make weakness into strength? Stop trying to fight the way you did before. That fighter is gone. You are someone new now. Find the style that works for this new person. Velthar gestured at the weapons. Perhaps your left blade should be lighter. Perhaps it should focus on defense while your stronger right side attacks. Perhaps you should use different weapons entirely. Hana looked at the practice swords in her hands. She had always used matching weapons. That was traditional. But tradition was just another limitation waiting to be questioned. Over the next weeks, she experimented. A lighter blade in her left hand. A heavier blade in her right. Different lengths. Different weights. She discovered that her injury forced her to think more creatively. She could not rely on pure technique anymore. She had to be smarter. Her left blade became primarily defensive, using less strength but more precision. Her right blade carried the offensive load. It was not the style she had used before, but it worked. It was uniquely hers. Her students noticed the change. G1 asked about it during a training session. Why are you using different weapons now? Because I had to adapt, Hana explained. My injury changed what I could do. So I changed how I did it. Does that make you weaker? Another student asked. It makes me different, Hana replied. Strength is not just physical power. It is also adaptability, the ability to change when circumstances change. The training program had grown, 20 human students now. But something unexpected was also happening. Non-human students had started attending. They could not truly dual-wield like humans, but they wanted to learn the philosophy behind it. The idea that limitations could be questioned. Yuri was one of them. She had been practicing crystalline manipulation based on human training principles. One day she showed Hana what she had accomplished. Her crystalline arm extended nearly a meter, forming a blade-like shape. We were told we could only change shape slightly, Yuri explained. But I practiced every day, pushing a little further each time. Like you taught, small improvements building to large changes. That is incredible, Hana said honestly. You inspired me. If humans can dual-wield when everyone said it was impossible, maybe my species can do things we never tried. Maybe every species has hidden potential. Word of these developments reached the Galactic Council. They invited Hana to speak at their annual assembly. She stood before representatives of 200 species, feeling very small and very human. Honored council members, Hana began. When I first demonstrated dual-wielding, many saw it as a human advantage. A way we could dominate in combat. But that was never the point. The point was to show that what seems impossible might just be unexplored. She gestured to her left shoulder. I was injured in combat. My dual-wielding ability was diminished. I could have given up. But instead I adapted. I found a new style that works with my limitation. Because humans do not see limitations as endpoints. We see them as starting points. That is humanity's gift to the galaxy, she continued. Not dual-wielding. Not any specific technique. It is the willingness to question what everyone knows is impossible. To look at cannot and ask why not. Or to turn weakness into different kinds of strength. The council chamber was silent. Then one delegate began to click their appendages together in applause. Another joined. Then another. Soon the entire chamber resonated with appreciation from 200 different species. After the assembly, Ambassador Taemin walked with her through the council station's gardens. That was a good speech, he said. It was honest, Hana replied. I used to think my value was in being the best dual wielder. Now I understand my value is in showing others how to question their own limits. Earth is proud of you, Taemin said. You have changed how the galaxy sees humanity. We are no longer just newcomers. We are innovators, question askers, limit breakers. 5 years later, Hana stood in the same arena where she had first demonstrated dual wielding. But now she was an instructor, not a student. The arena was full of cadets from dozens of species. Welcome to Advanced Combat Philosophy, she announced. This class will not teach you specific techniques. It will teach you how to discover techniques that work for your unique abilities and limitations. She saw human students who had mastered dual wielding in ways she never imagined. She saw Yuri, now able to reshape her crystalline body in complex ways. She saw a Quillarian who had learned to use all 4 arms with true independence, something his species had never achieved before. Every one of you has been told what you cannot do, Hana continued. Your species cannot do this. Your body is not built for that. These limitations are real, but they are not absolute. With creativity and determination, you can redefine what is possible for yourself. She picked up her 2 swords, one light, one heavy, the mismatched weapons that reflected her adaptation. I am going to show you something that should be impossible. A warrior with permanent nerve damage fighting with weapons that do not match, using a style that breaks every traditional rule. Training drones descended from the ceiling. Hana began to move. Her style was different from 5 years ago. More efficient, more creative, born from necessity and refined through determination. It was beautiful in its own unique way. The students watched in silence. Then Jiwon, now a senior instructor himself, began to clap. Others joined. Not because what Hana did was impossible, but because she had taken something broken and made it whole again in a new way. After class, Velthar approached her. "You have become an excellent teacher," he said. "I learned from the best," Hana replied with a smile. "You taught me as much as I taught you. More, perhaps. I spent 200 years believing that biology was destiny, that what a species could not do was fixed forever. You showed me that intelligent beings can transcend their initial design. We all have that potential," Hana said. "Humans just happened to demonstrate it first." That evening, Hana stood alone in the training room where everything had begun. She held her 2 swords and looked at her reflection. She was not the same person who had challenged Velthar 5 years ago. That person had been trying to prove humans could do something impossible. This person knew something more important. The word impossible was just a challenge waiting to be accepted, a limitation waiting to be questioned, an opportunity to show that cannot was never the end of the story. It was always just the beginning. She began moving through her forms, both blades independent, both weapons flowing in patterns that were uniquely hers. Outside the window, stars stretched across space. Hundreds of worlds, thousands of species, all of them learning the same lesson. Define can't, then redefine it, then prove the new definition wrong. That was the human way, and slowly, carefully, wonderfully, it was becoming the galactic way too. Hana smiled and continued practicing. Tomorrow she would teach another class, another group of students who believed they knew their limits, and she would show them, like humans always did, that limits were just the starting point, not the ending, never the ending.